a better way to do CrossFit. So I'm going to share this because I found it interesting that a lot of people don't scale their workouts. I know, shocking, right? So people want to do everything, quote, as RX'd, right? You want to do it the exact way that it's prescribed. And I think that that's actually a really bad idea for most people. So you will actually get a better effect and make better progress in the long run. Yes, you will, if you scale the workouts appropriately. And I will explain to you what I did personally back in the day, way back in the day. I realize I'm old. I've been over this before in other videos, right? So I think I did my first CrossFit workout in like 2002, something crazy like that, because I was on this online forum, NavySeals.com, and someone shared a workout. And I didn't do it properly because I didn't understand the point was to go all out. And I was like, what's the big deal? So I didn't continue doing it because I didn't understand that it was supposed to be like this all-out effort to go as fast as you can. And then I did my first actual CrossFit workout with someone in like 2004, and I found out, oh, you're supposed to run as hard as you can and then do the 50 air squats as fast as you possibly can, and absolutely destroyed myself, in which case at that point I was like, this is cool. So like 2004, right? And I stopped doing CrossFit by like 2008, maybe 2009, somewhere in there. Like I didn't do another CrossFit workout after that. Not that I necessarily followed the programming all that strictly, because we had a CrossFit gym that we opened, and it was an interesting group, if you will. One of the guys did Highland Games, so he did a bunch of throwing stuff, and he did powerlifting, so we lifted heavy, and one of the other guys was really into kettlebells. So we did a lot more than just CrossFit, but we still did the WODs, right? We still did the benchmark WODs. And anyways, my point to you is this. Because I actually read the CrossFit Journal, and I looked at what it said about programming and stuff like that, I scaled the workouts. I didn't do them as RX'd. That didn't come till later. So I'll give you an easy example. An easy example here would be something like Isabel. Most people don't have a very good snatch. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen these statistics that the average CrossFitter snatch is 286 pounds, which is amazing. But I would bet that actually that number is not accurate. I figure that's probably for people who are trying to compete at the games, and that's where they get those numbers from. I bet the average CrossFitter, people that just go to the CrossFit gym and have no interest in competing in games, probably don't snatch 135, or if they do snatch 135, they don't snatch a whole lot heavier than 135. So if your max snatch is, say, 155, doing 30 reps at 135 is not going to be a good workout for you. So what I think you should do, and this is what I did, I just took 50% of whatever my max was, and I made that the weight. So, if your max snatch is 155, go to like 50%, so 75 pounds, and you're going to snatch that for 30 reps as fast as you can. Now, the workout is going to take you roughly 3 minutes, right? And so you're getting the actual intended stimulus. The intended stimulus isn't for you to do 30 reps with 135 and it takes you 30 minutes. That's defeating the purpose. The intended stimulus is for you to go really fast and to get this stimulus of the high intensity along with lifting the weight. So now if you take 75 pounds and you snatch that for 30 reps as fast as you can, now this is a 3-minute long workout, you're getting this high intensity stimulus, right? So let's take something like Fran as an example. Okay, it's 95-pound thrusters and pull-ups. And it's 21 reps in the first round. That's a lot of reps. What if your max overhead press is only 115? You're going to struggle through this one. And what if you can only do 10 pull-ups? Man, you're not even going to do the first round unbroken. So what you're better off doing is what I did, and I would tell you to do something like 5 rounds of 10 reps, and you're going to take 50% of your overhead press, not 50% of your thruster, 50% of your overhead press. So let's just go with 150 again. So your max overhead press is 150. So you're going to do thrusters using 75 pounds. So you'll do 10 thrusters with 75 pounds. And let's say that you can only do 10 pull-ups. So then you're just going to do 5 pull-ups per round, 50% of your max pull-ups. So your max pull-ups is 10. You're going to do 5 pull-ups. So 5 rounds, okay, 10 thrusters with 75 pounds and 5 pull-ups. And you'll repeat that 5 times through. This will be a much faster workout for you. You're going to get that high intensity stimulus of doing really fast, right? If Fran takes you 20 minutes to do it as RX'd, this isn't the same stimulus as a person who's able to do it in 3 minutes. This is just like whenever I did Diane and I did it in something, the video's on Facebook, and I think I even have it on YouTube. I did it in like 2 minutes and 20 something, or it was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something. I don't remember. Could even be 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Doesn't matter. The point is, it was a really fast and short workout, okay? If my max deadlift had been, say, 255, then doing 225-pound deadlifts would have taken a very long time. So now this workout wouldn't take, 2 or 3 minutes. It would take more like 15, 20 minutes. It's a very different stimulus because now you're not fatiguing because you can't go any faster. You're fatiguing because you don't have the strength to do another rep. Hence, you have to put the bar down and then rest between reps. So what you're better off doing, same thing here, you're going to take 50% of your deadlift. So if your max deadlift is 250 pounds, okay, then you're going to take like 125, and that'll be what you use. And if you can only do 10 handstand push-ups, then you're going to do 5. And so you'll do 5 rounds of 10 deadlifts with 125 and, 5 handstand push-ups. That way the workout is quick. It's got that quick stimulus of you cycling back and forth between a weightlifting movement and a bodyweight movement. And whenever you scale these workouts, what's going to happen is you're going to get a better stimulus. So then the next time you're able to do it with 135, and the next time you're able to do it with 145, and your handstand push-ups start going up. That high intensity stimulus is really what you want out of these things. If we said, I'm going to do Fran, and I'm just going to do it at a leisurely pace, and I'm going to do it and it's going to take me an hour, that's not the same workout as someone who comes in and does Fran in 3 minutes and is laying on the floor flattened and wrecked. That high intensity part is really important to the stimulus. And so my advice to you, and you don't have to follow this strictly, maybe you use 60% of your 1 rep max. I don't care what it is, but to be precise. But the real takeaway that I'm trying to express here is like Grace, 135 clean and jerk for 30 reps. Okay, that's a great workout if your max clean and jerk is like 275. But if your max clean and jerk is 185, this is probably too heavy for you. It's going to be a slow workout. It's not going to be the right stimulus. It's not going to feel right. Put 95 pounds on the bar and go as fast as you can. That's going to be a way better stimulus for you. You're going to get that high intensity benefit to it. And that's what I'm trying to express here. It's about you scaling the workouts down so that you are getting the intended stimulus of the workout. If it's too heavy and you have to go slow, you're missing that high intensity point. If you lighten the weight, now you're getting that high intensity factor. And the same thing is true for a lot of these different circumstances. I mean, I don't care if we're talking about the number of pull-ups you can do or the number of handstand push-ups you can do, the number of push-ups you can do, whatever it is, pistol squats, whatever. Cut the reps down because you can't do 30 pull-ups. So you do, my max is 10. Well, then you're going to do 5 pull-ups per round, My max is 20. Then you're going to do 10 pull-ups per round, okay? It's going to work out better for you. You're going to get a better stimulus by doing fewer reps per round because it's 50% of your max reps, right? And the same thing's true with the loads for the weights. If you take the weight and you just base it off of your 1 rep max and say, I'm going to take 50% of my 1 rep max and do it for a set of 21, that's very different. That's going to be much more effective for you because you're going to be able to do all 21 unbroken. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So this is my advice on just my personal experience. If you want to be better at CrossFit and get a better stimulus out of it, you want that high intensity as part of the stimulus. So scale the workouts. And I'm not saying something new here. Like, this isn't a novel idea. This is literally, this is in the CrossFit Journal. Greg Glassman was telling people to scale the workouts. Like, you should scale the workouts. The needs of a 90-year-old woman and a 20-year-old elite level athlete only vary, and the scaling here, right? So they both need to do squats, right? They only vary in terms of the intensity. So they both need to be able to pick something up off the ground. It's just that the elite level athlete needs to pick up, 400 pounds off the ground, and the 90-year-old woman needs to pick up 20 pounds off the ground. It's just a matter of scaling things appropriately. But you can do the same workout for everyone, provided that you just scale it appropriately. And that really is like one of the main things that CrossFit teaches, and yet people have lost sight of that because everyone's so obsessed with being RX'd. So this is my advice on how to do it, and give it a try. Leave me a comment if you try it.